Hello, it's Artisan Crafter Amy, and I wanted to show you a tutorial for which I've made a PDF that I'll list in my Etsy shop. It's a 3" by 3" square micro mini scrapbook album. The one I'm showing you here was made with circus paper. Here's another one that I made with fairy wings papers. I go all the way through it this time so you can see the pieces. And then right after this, we start cutting and making it. There we go. I get out my favorite Carl cutting tool and some chipboard. The first thing you need to do is to cut the 12 by 12 chipboard into a 3" strip and then cut that into 3" squares. The last 3" square you want to cut to 1 3/4 inches wide. This will be the spine that goes on the left side of our trifold cover, and the 1 1/4 inch piece left will go on the right hand side. The next thing we do is we want to cut the scrapbooking paper to 5" pieces, two 5" pieces. I actually cut it into 6" pieces here, but that wasn't as efficient, and I corrected that in my instructions. There's trimming down later that will occur that won't happen if you follow the instructions and make it only 5" wide, and it leaves a nice strip that we can retain to use on the waterfalls later. The piece that's cut off of there, you're left with a 2" strip after cutting those into 5" wide. You attach them end to end so that you have one really long piece, and I put my last 3" square right over that seam where the paper joined. You definitely don't want that seam where the paper is joined to end up in the space between chipboard pieces, because that will be a seam when we start folding it together, and the paper will stick up weird if you have a joining in that crack there. I cut the excess paper off, and again, if it was 5" wide, like is better, you'd cut that into two 2.5" wide pieces and attach those end to end. We'll be using this to completely cover the inside once we've finished wrapping. Now we come back to the first piece, and we're going to carefully wrap the cardstock paper around our chipboard pieces and mark it up to start so that we can see where the corners have been creased. And then we're going to cut just outside of those score marks, leaving 1/8 of an inch between the chipboard and where we're cutting. You do not want to cut too close to the chipboard. The next thing you need to do is to use double-sided tape. I like to go slightly over the edge of the chipboard so that when I fold it over, there is a double-sided tape to double-sided tape adhesion happening there. It's a personal preference, but it works well. So since I cut my pieces to 6" wide, I had trimming down to do, but again, if you follow the PDF instructions, you won't need to do that. And I like to do the long sides opposite each other first, and here I didn't want to pause the video to go and get my bone folder, so I'm using my scissors to burnish that down. You'll notice crafters always say that you can use your scissors, but you seldom see them actually do it. So I'll pretend I'm taking one for the team here. That's what I'd convinced myself when I decided not to get up and get the bone folder anyhow. All right. So off camera, I added double-sided tape to the piece covering one side of the piece that we'll use to finish this. And then after restarting the camera, I trim where the paper was a little bit too wide, and I rub off some double-sided tape that was sticking out there. I burnish down this double-sided tape, peel the backing off. I'll use that to finish the inside, and I'll want to burnish that down in the seams carefully. Did you see where I almost got that stuck to the outside of the cover? That was a close one. And there I was just showing you that I've been careful to make sure when trimming that to size that the seam would not be in the gap between chipboard pieces or end up in my crease. Now I am working the creases in from both the inside of the cover and the outside of the cover. I decided I could get in there better if I opened my scissors. That might have been a mistake. I think I actually went a little bit too deep and damaged the paper a little here, but no harm done. I put a little bit of glue on those seams, and when it's all decorated, I don't think anyone will notice. The last step that we're going to do is to attach a pair of magnets that's required for this project. Mine are 1/2 inches in diameter and wafer thin, very, very thin. So what I do here to attach the magnets is I put a dot of glue. First I make sure I have it upright, going the way I want. Then I put a dot of glue where the magnet goes. I secure that down and protect it under some double-sided tape. And then I attach the other magnet to that one so I know they're going the right way. I put a dot of glue there, and that dot of glue will leave a mark when I fold it over like so. And then I put the sticky side of the magnet on the mark that was made with the glue, and then secure that down under double-sided tape. This step is all done. Get ready for part 2. Thanks for watching.